Dear Lord, I hope you hear my prayers, because we really, really need you down here. From all the pain that we're going through, we know that you're real, so can you fall through? Father, have mercy when we call on you.
Before you say you. About 5 minutes.
Waiting and to play with. I raise my children up to say the same shit. Dear Lord, I hope you hear my prayers, because we really, really need you down here. From all the pain that we going through, we know that you're real, so can you fall through? Father, have mercy when we call on you. But I just wanna fall on you, to show the devils you waiting and to play with. I raise my children up to say the same shit.
Yeah. Go ahead. Come on, West. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Look, I keep it low to the T. I.S.U.P.K play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet. Got soldiers on deck, and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother way. Tell him get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Nigga, come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Man, this shit is too easy. I'm on gold, but they don't believe me. You know I'm winning with the team. Screaming Vinny, VJ. Hear them devils screaming out bloody murder. I'm about to close the curtain. I'm on my grind, bitch, and work. Sorry, all them lies, it ain't working. Them niggas weak, they be churching. I'm a West nigga, that's for certain. If he cross the line, I'm gonna back up and I'm gonna hit his ass with his virus. And I come through 300 strong, 144 Leonidas. All my niggas, we eat. I'm in this bitch with the itis. Say, all y'all do the street. Tell y'all to do the street. The nigga made the wrong move, he make his ass out the league. He ain't one of us hit the league. He ain't one of us here preach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. Look, I keep it low to the T. I.S.U.P.K play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet. Got soldiers on deck, and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother wave. Tell him get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Nigga, come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat.
You see this look that's on my face, bitch, I'm for real with it. I hit the streets, put on my cleats, was in the field with it. You soft as cotton, just an actor, Uncle Phil with it. And then my targets on the move, bitch, I can still hit it. Hey, I speak true cause it's necessary. Gullah Jack revolutionary. Cold on them like January. Commander General is a visionary. Soul food, no sweets. Your preacher man, he sweet. Matter of fact, he weak. It's wartime for peace. Think you hard, nigga, you ain't. Fuck with us, nigga, you can't. You smart cars, we pace. We form up in ranks. We body bag this rap shit. All black, no bright shit. Real life, no cap, bitch. Fall on them, that's cap shit. I keep it low to the T. I.S.U.P.K play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet. Got soldiers on deck, and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother wave. Tell them get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Nigga, come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Go ahead.
That's why I don't know you. I'm not letting nobody sell you crack. You know why? Because I never saw you before. But you a black man like me. That's right. And it's worth something.
This is BLACKWATCH. with Commanding General Yahanna, the only man to lead blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans.
God made man on this earth. The white man ain't make man. God made man. God wants man to obey him.
Bringing you real news.
You don't need a black man in the White House. You need a black man in every black house.
For many years, there's a lot of black people who didn't realize how deep the racism of white America was.
You ain't gonna do nothing unless you decide where you gonna stand at with the Most High.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
Righteous solutions to issues plaguing our nation.
Boy, you better wake up and see the power that is within blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians.
Join us every Monday from 9 to 11 p.m. Blackwatch. Let the show begin.
Did you have to switch something back? Say again. Okay. All right. So yeah, everybody out there, give us a sound check. You got a 1? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? 1 2 1 2. We getting ones? We good. We good. All right. Sounds good. So again, big shout out to all the newly raised officers of 5,000 that got in here, really working hard to bring forth this truth. Big shout out to all the sisters, brothers, captains, officers, generals doing what they do, holding it down, pushing this truth forward like it's never been done before. Now, I hear that this Friday, the promotions department will kick off the bingo. I've been waiting on this bingo. Right. I'm finna get up in that bingo. I need to hit for some of that cash y'all giving away up there. So the bingo is it's supposed to be this Friday. Check the website, ISUPK.com. And let's see, the brothers can get it off. They're trying to tweak it out real right. Big shout out to General Kabbalah working tirelessly on it. Ashar Gapan working tirelessly on it. General Shao Ma working tirelessly on it. We want to kick it off because, of course, we want to increase as much funds as we can to support this school and to support everything that we're doing in this school. And it's going to be even more needed as we going into deeper into 2022, so-called 2022.
and in the years to come. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So let's do that. Am I forgetting anything new on the table? No? Okay. So let's get it on, man. Where we going first, you die?
We expect our children not to be called nigger or monkeys.
Damn. Go ahead.
Minnesota high school facing numerous racism allegations. Black community demands accountability.
You see that? Black communities asking for accountability because they just decided to do whatever they want to do. And let me tell you something else too. Let me just throw this in there from the gate. Y'all, please jump in anytime y'all get ready. You think your cries have fallen on deaf ears in the past. Your cries are really going to fall on deaf ears now because finally some Edomites got a reason to ignore you. Yep. And their reason to ignore you will be your problems are small compared to Ukraine's. Like it'll be like finally they've been looking for a reason to say white people are suffering and you should pull yourself up by your bootstrap. Mm-hmm. Stop complaining about the white man every week. Now the white man is being bombed into the Stone Age. He being bombed like he is a Negro over there in Ukraine. And so now, of course, they don't want to hear it no more. They don't want to hear your black complaints. Right. They don't want to hear that, which is evil as hell. Right. You understand? When ain't nobody been bombed like us. We been bombed worse than the Ukraine. Go ahead, Joe. Before y'all jump in.
Listen, I knew when they showed a little Edomite boy walking down the road. He said, "This little boy is without his parents," and he crying. He walking and crying. Oh, look at the propaganda. You know, white folk can't take little white boys crying. You know what I'm saying? So they niggas gonna drive them crazy. So they don't want to hear nothing else till he's safe. Yeah, these niggas better shut up till he's safe. You know what I mean? Then they showed a little white girl singing. She's singing the Ukrainian song, hiding in a shelter. You know
I saw that one. That's what I saw.
Up, you know what I mean?
God, she down underneath the shelter singing. What's the song? That cartoon?
Oh, let it go, let it go. That's right.
Is let it go? Yeah, the song's Let It Go. What's the cartoon it's from? Frozen. Because this show you how evil this is. That cartoon Frozen is really about lesbianism. You go back and look at that cartoon Frozen, it's about lesbianism. Mark my words, go back and watch it with your eyes open. You die? Okay. You understand? Like, that's what it's about. And meanwhile, the little girl singing the song, and of course, she breaking all the Edomite hearts. And brother, okay, listen, and I ain't mad at an Edomite for being sad for what goes on with Edomites. He should take that back seat up. Yeah, like I ain't mad at Edomites for loving their own kind and being sad for theirs and watching a little white girl cry and all that. But here's the problem with these Edomites. They are so ruthless when it comes to your children. Like them Mexican babies was singing in them cages too. They were singing in them cages and didn't have their parents, and they got snatched from their parents. Yeah, like it wasn't like their parents was shooting at America and America had to bomb them and they lost their parents, or America felt like they had to invade Mexico, or it wasn't none of that. They was crossing the border like refugees, the same way the Ukrainians crossing the border into Hungary, and they locked them and took their babies from them and put their beautiful little babies into cages, and nobody cared if them babies were singing. Like, you have been so cruel that you have lost your humanity when it comes to other nations, and then you don't want to hear that when your suffering comes. And that, let me tell you something, that angers the Most High. Let me tell you, that angers the Most High like I can't even explain. The amount of pride that you have. Somebody get me really real quick 6 things the Lord hate. Yea, 7. Y'all know that one? Get that one for me. You know what I mean? I think he don't understand. You understand? Like, that makes no sense. Like, you got to have compassion. If you're gonna have compassion on your own, then you're gonna have to also respect what it is that you're doing to others. And what was done to the Mexican people was a Holocaust. The ones that, the Latinos that came across the border. Somebody got it? Give it to me once you got it. Read it for me, out.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 6 and verse 16. These six things doth the Lord hate. Yea, 7 are an abomination unto him. Verse 17. A proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood.
Read it again, Salakia.
Kabakar. These 6 things doth the Lord hate. Yea, 7 are an abomination unto him.
He says 7 of them are an abomination. This old school. Y'all all know this. 7 are an abomination unto him. Go ahead.
Verse 17. A proud look, a lying tongue.
A proud look. You proud. Think that you are somebody that you are not. That's why they shocked at what's happening in the Ukraine. They shocked at what's happening in the Ukraine because of their pride.
Right.
They never, ever, ever believed that they could deserve it. When judgment day come, you getting what you deserve, whether you know it or not, like it or not, feel good about it or not. It does not matter to the Most High. Like when he talk about them books being open in Revelation, them books are being being open. When he talks about it being these judgments written, you know what I mean? The judgment written in Psalms, he's talking about the judgment that's coming for the things that were done on the earth. When he talks about in Zechariah 14:12, where he says, these are the things that will happen to everyone that fought against Jerusalem, he means exactly that. That there's going to be a judgment for those things. And when that judgment comes, you got a sad day coming. And if you don't see it, that's your damn problem. If you don't see it that time, it's your problem. I could stack tons of scriptures on that. Because you could also stack the scripture where the Lord said, say not to the angel. I want you to get that one next. Say not to, you know that one, right? Say not to the angel. It was a mistake.
Right.
Pull that one for me. In the meantime, read this one. Finish reading this one. I'm going to give you another one, then we'll pull that. Somebody pull that one for me. Go ahead.
A lying tongue.
A lying tongue. A lying tongue. This very story we reading is so the same way. And that's something for us to remember, man. That's why the Lord said this. He said, Christ said this, beware of the leaven of the Sadducees and Pharisees, for it is hypocrisy.
Right.
What do they rise up in? Hypocrisy. Like what you put leaven in bread for? Right. It's for it to rise, right? So if you want something to rise and you put leaven in it, it's gonna rise up. So when Christ said, beware of the leaven of the Sadducees and Pharisees, he beware of the philosophy of their minds that they rise by. And what is it? Hypocrisy. How you gonna be in church out and be the bedrock rule against church? Y'all jump in anytime. The bedrock rule, one of the bedrock rules in the scriptures is that the Lord is against alternative lifestyles.
Right.
Yet you the haven of alternative lifestyle.
God.
One of the bedrock rules in the scriptures is that a woman is not to be a preacher of God. What do you do in church? You push for a woman to be a preacher of God. Like you complete opposites. One of the bedrock rules about the Bible is what? The laws, statutes, and commandments. The whole Bible is talking about how people constantly broke God's rules. Am I right or wrong? The whole judgment day is about people breaking God's rules. Am I right?
That's right.
Yet you in church teaching people God's law is done away with. Like you are like today's church is a walking, standing hypocrisy. And where do they get that hypocrisy from? Your slave master, who's a hypocrite, says one thing, does another thing. And brother, that's what they're experiencing now. And it is why we've never received the justice that they're willing to give for Ukraine. I mean, they ready to stop the world for these Ukrainians. They ready to shut down everything pertaining to the world. They ready to lose their own economy, run their own people into a jam, run the gas up, everything, because they are hypocrites. And you telling me You could give all these billions over there to Ukraine, and you couldn't do anything to hold these people, these Mexican people, in place long enough to get them, these Latinos, long enough to ship them out back to their country, or for the war to end, or anything. You couldn't do none of that. The only thing you could do is put them in cages and snatch their babies away from them. That was your solution. That was your $64 million solution, was throw them in the cages, separate their kids from them. And so Donald Trump turned around and said that will deter them from trying to cross the border. Imagine that. But your heart bleeding for Ukraine.
Right.
You bleeding. Go ahead, Joe.
You hitting on it. They forget, the Mexicans was running from a murderer too. They
Yes.
was running from murder. Ukraine running from a murderer, so they helping them. Oh, we got to help them. We got to help them. But the Mexicans was running from the cartels and having their daughters stolen and putting into prostitution. But you got no care for them. You understand why? Because they don't look like your sons and daughters. You know what I'm saying? So
thank you. I mean, that's why the UPK, man, we got the Bible broken down.
Damn right.
All right, let me read these real quick and we'll get back on this story, because I know there's more to read into the story. Go ahead, Doc. Like, don't be mad at us because we charge white America for what white America has done to blacks and Latinos when you refuse to charge yourself.
Right.
Like, one of the basic tenets of leadership is you must be able to recognize when you make a mistake or when you do wrong. How you going to lead the world and give no justice to the dark nations and all the justice to the white nation, and then expect the dark nations to follow you? I know why you do it, because you've had us in slavery so long, you don't even think about, do we got to do right by them? But you don't understand that the Lord is real, and the Lord will bring judgment. Go ahead, Doc. Tell them where you at. We're going 3 scriptures on this real quick. Did y'all get that last one I asked for? Anybody find it? Okay, we'll come on and get it.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 6 and verse 17 in the middle. And hands that shed innocent blood. Verse 18.
Right. And hands that shed innocent blood. 400 years, man. 400 long years. Black people have suffered and been beaten into powder.
Right.
And as far as y'all concerned, it's all our fault. It's all our fault. That's why you preachers and you churches are like vomit to us. You like vomit to us because you have your sense of judgment is only whatever the master says, it's right, regardless of if it's just or not. Whatever he say, whatever fills my gut and my pocket is right. If it doesn't fill your gut and your pocket, it's not right. If it does fill your gut and your pocket, oh, it's all the way right. It's all the way right. And you know what you can stack on that in James when he said, you find he that hath a gold ring and say to him, come and sit beside me.
Right.
Are you not partial in your judgment?
God.
You damn right you are. Go ahead, Joe.
And that's what's heavy, all the things you're saying, because that's why the church is being revealed in these last days as an organization of hypocrisy. Because like you brought up earlier, how can there be a judgment day when you saying the laws is done away with? In the hell you going to be judged? Well, how do you know right or wrong if the laws is gone? Also, Christians, the biggest one, talking about sinners and sin, right?
Yes.
How can there be a sinner if the laws are done away with? But black churches, we follow these things and these hypocritical ideologies and things when and learn it from our slave master, like you brought up earlier. You know what I'm saying? And make the church look bad, make us look bad. That's why ain't nobody in there no more. You know what I'm saying? Because they being revealed for all the hypocrisy. Slocky, that's all I want to say.
No, so I agree.
Doctrine is the word I'm looking for.
Like, listen, what you saying is so right. That's why I love the Israelite school, UBK, because to a damn right, big shout out to General Mayat. Like that's why this place is so important. It's so important because otherwise, there's certain people in this world who they're not slow to the basic tenets of right and wrong. They may not be educated. They may be in the ghetto, poor and all that, but they have a better sense of right and wrong than everybody. And those people would lose their mind if they don't have a place like this. A place like this allows you to really look at right and wrong like it's supposed to. I love this place. I love this I.S.U.P.K. I'm going to tell you why. Don't nobody talk worse about black people than us. Am I lying? Right. Don't nobody blaze on a Negro on them corners worse than us. Right or wrong? God. Don't nobody come against your whole entire lustful lifestyle more than us. And at the same time, we the ones that also come up against the white America.
Count of one count.
So you can't say we hypocrites.
Right.
We rocking both sides of the pendulum.
God.
Even the stuff we may personally not like has nothing to do with it because we just not dealing with it. Like we ain't going by the tenets of us and what we like. We going by the judgment, even if we don't like it.
God, like we don't discriminate.
Yeah, we ain't discriminate. We ain't discriminate.
We ain't biased. You know what I mean? It's like if it's wrong, it's wrong. Even if we find out we done did the wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't got nothing to do with nothing else. But you are partial in your judgment. And it is why you don't understand the judgment of the Most High. Because you partial in your judgment. You understand? Ain't nothing greater than the sister that say, you know, I want to learn about God and stuff, but, you know, I be smoking cigarettes and I know that ain't right. Nothing greater than that. Nothing greater than that. Nothing greater than the brother that say, man, I be wanting to come in there with y'all, man, but I be smoking that weed, man. I'm trying to get off that weed. That is more righteous than the Christian who walks around with, like the Lord said, that proud look and acting like you are not the sinner and that everybody else is.
Right.
You're worse because you can't see what the hell you're doing.
Right.
And that's what's going on here, man. Let me finish these so we can get back to the story and get to the other story. What you holding? You was it? That was it on that? Finish it.
There's the book of Proverbs, the 6th and verse 18. And heart that deviseth wicked imagination.
And a heart that deviseth wicked imaginations, man. And that's the empire of today. They devise wicked imagination. I don't know who came up with it, but whoever came up with that bomb that they got over there, that them Russians got over there in Ukraine, they got a bomb over there, brother, that the bomb explodes and it takes the air out of the building where you at. Like it go boom and it take the air out the building. So if you standing in there, it don't matter if you behind a blast shield. It don't matter if you behind a concrete wall. It don't matter if none of that. Because when it explodes and it go back out, it's taking all the air in the room back out with it. Which means you ain't going to be able to breathe. Like whoever thought of that had a wicked imagination. Like, that was a wicked imagination to come up with that. You understand? And at the same time, that same person with that wicked imagination will be mad when somebody uses a wicked device on them. And that's why this world is the mess that it is in. You understand? Because the Bible is so gold on judgment and you are not. Is that it on that? Please,
if I may add something to that point, what you're saying is so right, sir. And that is the same person who your preacher taught you to love.
Boom.
A cat that make a bomb that not only do he lynch you and murder you and call your children monkeys in school, but your preacher teach you to love a person that make a bomb that suck the life out of you when it blow up.
Dang.
You understand? And beg him. And it's like, how can a man and a race of people who create wickedness like that give judgment and be righteous to a people who believe that, you know, they can be homosexuals and they can be whores and be criminals and murder their own kind? It's like the Christian pastor is so wicked in teaching you to be unrighteous and God is going to love you. Why do you expect a man who was born unrighteous and born wicked to give you some type of righteousness and say somebody got to answer for calling my children monkeys? Like this cat is a beast and a monster.
Exactly. And it's going to fall on deaf ears after a while. Let me tell you something, if I could. This is such the time to relook at the earth and everything you've ever done in this earth, okay? Because you're about to see that you were wrong on so many levels. And you about to have to go back now and relearn everything that you didn't learn, that you learned, and then relearn everything all over again. because you have no clue on how judgment is supposed to work.
Right.
What you're saying is heavy. Was that it on that?
And if I can, what the general just broke down was being born again. You understand? You have to relearn. That's what every time the Lord talk about being born again in that Bible, that's what it means. Take all the stuff we didn't learn in this land of our captivity and just get rid of it and relearn everything. You got to relearn life when you come into the truth. And that's what makes it hard for most people to come into the truth, because all the things they didn't got used to and their habits all their life, they too stubborn and don't love God enough to give that up or to put it to the side at least to see what's right. You understand? That's the problem. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Slocky, lost my train of thought.
No, damn right.
That's it. Come on.
That's heavy. You know what I mean? That was it on that or more? Go ahead. Coming to you in a second.
Feet that be swift in running to mischief.
Feet swift to run to mischief. Okay? Stop right there. I want you to get two other ones for me. Get me Ecclesiastic. First of all, no. Go from there. Get me Psalms 10 and say 2. Either 2 or 5. Try 2 first. Psalms 10, and I think you want to try 2 first, and then 5 after.
This is the book of Psalm, chapter 10 and verse 2. The wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor.
Read it again.
The wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor.
Why it say in his pride? The wicked in his pride. It's one thing for the wicked to persecute the poor. But when the wicked persecute the poor in his pride, what does that mean? That means he persecutes the poor as though he is innocent of the persecution, as though he should persecute them because the poor deserve this persecution. Okay. And that's what you've lived for 400 years in this empire. And now the judgment is coming back. And you should see it because they can't see that the judgment should happen to them. What's happening in Ukraine is making them like, what the hell? And meanwhile, they don't have that compassion on you. We're reading a story right now where a sister and some brothers and sisters are angry at the sheer fact. They're angry at the sheer fact that their loved one is being abused in school and nobody has any conscience about it. It makes no sense. That's real hypocrisy. Read it one more time.
The wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor.
You hear that? The wicked in his pride, he persecutes the poor. In his pride, he degrades the poor, beats them down. Never saying himself, I'm just as guilty. Never saying himself that the Lord might punish me for this that happened to me. Well, that's what you did for 400 years. You persecuted the poor in your pride. Read on.
Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined.
Now that's God's word, not my word. Say my word. This is God's word. This is God's word. Read that last part again.
Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined.
Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. Brother, that's frightening. Right. Like if you believe in the Most High, that's a frightening statement, man. In essence, the Lord is saying every weapon that you have devised, let that weapon destroy you.
Damn right. That's fair. Yeah.
I don't know about them, but I know I fear the Most High. And if I was you, I would fear the Most High, because that's in essence the Lord is saying, let you be destroyed by nuclear war too. Mm-hmm. And we finding out right now, another country has just taken over 2, possibly the 3rd nuclear power plant of a whole nother country. Mm. So that means that wherever the missiles was directed to before, they about to get redirected.
Yeah.
That's going to be a problem.
Right.
It means that all this can change. And guess what? And in the end, it will change. And in the end, guess what? The Lord will bring judgment down on the earth, and those weapons will destroy people all over this world. God. Why? Because he wants you to be taken. You could just slide some chairs over, sis. Just slide some chairs over. You good? Give her a hand, I bought. Let her get them chairs in place. You understand? You gonna be taken in it. Was that it on that?
And if I can, John, I know it's
John.
heavy on your show Saturday. You brought out that scripture. The Lord, you know, he created the smith that blow off the coals. You know what I'm saying? Like he put it in their mind to make them weapons that suck the air out your lung and all them nuclear, them different weapons they got. He let them make it. He put it in their mind to make it because he gonna flip it right back on them eventually.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
like I hate to say it, but thou art a prophet of God. I mean, thou art a man of the Lord. Like that's what is going to happen because of what you see before your eyes. Last one. I done ran all over the top of your story, you die. It's a lot. Ecclesiastes 5 and 6, and I'm gonna get up off of it, man. Ecclesiastes 5 and 6.
Wakan, this is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 5 and verse 6. Suffer not thy mouth to cause thy flesh to sin.
You hear what the Lord said? Don't suffer your mouth to cause your flesh to sin. Your mouth is going to make your flesh sin, man. You was going to say something on that? No, your mouth is going to make your flesh sin. That pride in you is going to make you sin. Go ahead.
Wakan, sir. Neither say thou before the angel.
Don't dare say this before the angel. Like, don't you dare say this before the angel. We saw Nazi flags hanging over there in Ukraine with the Ukraine military. Now, I don't know if that's propaganda. I don't know. But I do know this. If it is true that they are Nazis or were Nazis over there, brother, if it is true, don't say to the angel now that your country being bombed into the Stone Age, that it was a mistake. You should have had control of yourself instead of doing the evil you're doing. That's why in this biblical prophecy, when the Lord destroys the empires of the world and burns even this empire down, then this empire and nobody in it will be able to say anything. If you said anything, you're a hypocrite. You understand? If you went out and robbed somebody and got locked up, and the judge came in and said, for the crime of robbery, you getting 2 to 5. If you got anything to say against that, you're a hypocrite because you did the crime. Right. You can't go back now and say, oh, it was a mistake. You knew what you was doing at that time. Like, people don't make a mistake and rob somebody. Oh, my gun came out. Oh, excuse me. Let me get your wallet. Oh, I'm fumbling along. No. And you certainly can't say to the Lord, I persecuted your people for 400 years. It was a mistake. Nah, that ain't going to fly. That ain't going to get past Michael and them. They ain't going to get past them. They ain't going to get past Gabriel when he popped that scroll out.
Right.
And say, look what you done did. And you ain't going to be able to say to him, I know it's 400 years, but it was a mistake. I was drunk. It ain't going to happen.
Right.
It ain't going to happen. Finish it. I'm getting off it. Get back to your story.
And if I may, sir, like the Lord is such a man of war. Like the more the Lord plague the white man and bring these curses, the white man in his pride and his arrogance, he add more unto the punishment. Meaning it's been 400 years, the lynching and crack is gone, and he still is doing more and more and more. So it's like the Lord is vindicating himself and saying, I got to destroy you.
Cap, give it up for Cap. I ain't want to say no more on it, but you compel me to say something else. So it's a lot here. But what you're saying, is so right for this reason. They already beat us into dirt.
Right.
They already got the most powerful empire on the face of this earth. They have the richest, most illustrious empire you could ever want. They have weapons in space. They are, magnanimously powerful. Right. Why would you continue to persecute the Lord's chosen people? Why wouldn't you say to yourself, look, we had them 400 years. We destroyed them. Let's work it out a way that's pleasing to the Most High because we know what we did. Why wouldn't you do that? But pride, the scripture said the little horn stuck up higher than the others. When they talk about it in Daniel. Your pride in this place is why this happened. Come on, finish it. I don't want to keep running. Go ahead.
that it was an error. Wherefore should God be angry at thy voice and destroy the work of thy hands?
Don't say that, because he's going to destroy the work of your hand. Every empire on this earth is going to see what happened to Ukraine. They're going to get visited by the Lord as well. Like every empire will get a visit from the Most High Power on what went on in Ukraine. Right. Sad to say. Go ahead.
Like, if I may, if I could, General, yeah. And it's so right too, General, and thank the Lord for this truth too, because we remember they descended to Esau. You understand? And when Esau hungry, he eat blood. So it's like he poor, he at war right now, and you know his economy is bad, gas going up, so he gonna eat blood and kill who he got to kill and oppress who he got to oppress. But I remember at the end, he couldn't handle that.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And even before him, Cain, the murder of the earth, he said, Lord, I can't handle all this. Like, that's going to be the cat. At the end, that's going to be us on top of him. Like, I can't take it. He's going to be gone. So, you know, it's a good thing. Do honor. You know
what I'm saying? You know, oh, man. That was it, right? All right, let's go back. Let's finish the story. You got more in the story? That was it on that? Let's keep going. The water, y'all.
DHS to temporarily shield Ukrainians in U.S. from deportation.
Now this right here, once again, did we just not mention hypocrisy? Did we just not mention hypocrisy? Come on, give us that story out. Amazing. Would show you this too. Like, this is why it's so evil. If I say this is a law, it's a law that nobody can, eat chicken, because chicken might make you sick. I'm not saying this. Don't nobody act crazy. Right. I'm just using this as a hypothetical example, right? But then all of a sudden, I turn around and tell somebody, some group, you could eat the chicken. Then, I mean, how can I expect you to respect that law when it doesn't apply to certain people? Certain people get in other words, under your authority, certain ethnic groups of people, racism, receive better treatment, sometimes astronomically better treatment than others. Yet you say everybody must follow your laws. That means the ones that have to follow your laws that do not receive the beneficial treatment are de facto oppressed. That means they're oppressed. Because if you have a law that certain people don't have to follow, then the people that have to follow it are oppressed by just default, unless everybody is under that same rule. And that's why that whole statue of really the statue of ISIS, that whole Statue of Liberty. You see how they got the Statue of Liberty with the blindfold on? That's all BS, because you have some laws for some people and some laws not for some people. Let me let the story tell the whole thing. The story will say it by itself. Go ahead.
Khan.
This is crazy.
The Biden administration will grant Ukrainians already in the U.S. a temporary protected status.
Protected status. Not even temporary non-deportation status. Not only are they not going to be deported, they get protected status. Brother, we 400 years here, ain't nobody protecting us from them cops, right, and from the murderers and from everything that they have devolved the black community in. Go ahead,
A temporary protective status designation shielding them from deportation.
Shielding them from deportation. We just started talking about this. Like, once again, like black people, Latino people, Native Indian people got to sit around and receive no judgment. And which is why you should come together and serve a God that only is down with blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians. Right. I don't want to know about nobody else's God if he say he's saving anybody but mine. Right. He's saving anybody but mine. We cool, be on your way. I ain't with it. Right. You a God for everybody, cool, no problem. But I want a God just for us. God. Because the white man got his God, the East Indian got his God, the Arabs got their God. The Orientals got a few gods. Which God do blacks and Latinos and Native Indians got that only care about them? I found it. Israelite School, UPK done revealed it in that book called the Bible. And I ain't down with no other God.
That's right.
I mean, it's nice for you to say, God loves everybody. You got a God that loves everybody? That's a very nice statement. That's a real cool dude that loves everybody. But is that true? It ain't true if your God tells you that you can now give these people preferential safe treatment while these people you abuse beyond belief. That should have been a war crime. What they did to them babies across that border, and then lost 1,500 babies. Lost them. Took them, put them in cages, and lost them. Horrifying. That should have been a war crime. But you can't say it. You can't say that here because the terror of terrors America don't want you saying it. But once again, if you want to not be a hypocrite, you're going to have to say what Putin is doing over there bombing them Ukrainians is a horrible thing. Oh, man, I watched the news today, man. They dropped a missile down on the sidewalk. Did you see that one? The cat was there with the soldier, with the weapon. They dropped the missile down on the sidewalk. When that missile blew up, they wiped out that whole family. If it's true, because, you never know. You know what I'm saying? You never know. You know what I mean? They moving the machine. But the whole damn family was dead. That was horrifying. And I can't be mad at them for bringing it out and cursing Putin out and being mad. But let me curse you out for my Mexican babies.
Right.
At least let me do that, right?
Yeah.
You cursing out Putin as you should for what he's doing to the Ukrainians. Can I curse you out for what you're doing to the Mexicans? Can I curse you out for what you're doing to black and Latino babies? I should have the same right to do the same damn thing because that would be justice. That would be non-hypocritical. That's what that would be. Come on, Cat, please.
And it shows you how much our oppressor is just power hungry. And when it comes to the white man dealing with his money and his riches, that's when he really starts to oppress because he can't hear us you understand, prophesy against him and reject him because of what he did to those Mexican babies, because the cartels and the hardships that they running from is making America too much money. So he can't care about them babies and the refugees coming across the border because them cartels is making America too much money off of drugs and destroying blacks and keep us in the prisons. But Russia dropping them bombs is costing them too much money. It's costing them too much resources. It's costing them too much wheat and gas and oil and whatever else Russia send over here. It's costing them money now. So now we got to care about that. Salaki.
You right. You so right. Go ahead, Let's see it. No. Oh, of the bombing? Yeah. Go ahead. One time only.
Тут везде все повыносило, доски валяют.
Good. You had your hand up? You good? Okay. That's it there?
Мир ждал слоган России на площади. Вы этого хотели, да?
Друзья, это просто пиздец, я по-другому не могу сказать. Посмотрите на это. Просто ёбнешься. Блядь, я в ахуе просто. Тут везде все повыносило, доски валяются.
Look like the Northeast Philly. Okay, look like the South Bronx in the 70s. God. Hey, let me, if I could, you was gonna say something?
It was a video with I think it might have been CNN. I know the news guy, he was with a woman and a couple of others. Boy, they was under some fire. They talking, then you hear ping, 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 ping. They drop down. He got the camera rolling. They like on the side of some car or something metal and put ping, ping, ping. You just hear him hitting. He said, "Hey, we're media!" Hey, he's screaming. He's speaking in Russian, talking about where the espresso, ping, ping, ping. And they trying to tag him, boy.
Ain't no some sniper out there with that damn long rifle out there, plinking the hell out of his ass, trying to catch a hot one on. But listen, real quick, I want to see if you can find this. This might be tricky. Find me the footage of when when the city of Philadelphia dropped a bomb on the Move group. They dropped that. We've been under ordinance too. Our people. They dropped a bomb on the Move group and blew up a city block. Blew up, burnt down 250 houses in Philadelphia. Bombed them to hell. And they ain't the only ones. Bombed a ton of white people too. Bombed their own. They bombed the Branch Davidians. What's his name? David Koresh. They bombed the hell out of them. Burnt the whole compound to the ground. Okay? Go ahead. Show the Move group. Look at this here. So that's it, man. You get my point. Hypocrisy is what got to be answered. That's right. Hebrew Jake said that was a C4 explosive, man. You understand? Okay. Oh, man. He said a deacon in the church I went to lost his home in that bombing and never got compensation for that home. You understand? Ain't that something? So let's not act like this thing doesn't happen to the Lord's chosen people. You, the Ukrainians, give me some pictures. You got them pictures I asked for? Give me them pictures of West Philly and tell me if this don't look like Ukraine. Salat. Tell me if this don't look like Ukraine real quick. Look at that. That's Ukraine. Go ahead. Look at that. Bring some of them up big if you could. That's Ukraine. Give me some of them burnt out ones. You got some of them burnt out ones? North Philly and West Philly. Look at that. That's Ukraine. Give me some more. Look at that there. That's Ukraine. Give me as many as you. Look at that there. Look, come on. That's Ukraine. That's Ukraine right here in the United States of America. And brother, some of them places were burnt out for years. For years burnt out and nobody said nothing. You can go right now to them same neighborhoods and they abandoned buildings for blocks, right or wrong. Homes destroyed, and guess who gets blamed for it? Ain't nobody blaming the Russians for it. They blaming the Ukrainians for this. And it's amazing. Ain't nobody over there blaming the Ukrainians for their condition. But everybody over here blaming us for our condition.
Right.
Over there, everybody blaming Putin for doing it. Over here, everybody blaming us for doing it instead of the empire, man. Beware of the leaven of the Sadducees and Pharisees, for it is hypocrisy.
Count of the one count. America's in no moral position to judge Putin or nobody else about war crimes and crimes against humanity. You know, while they speaking the same, that's wrong what he's doing. This is what they do to their people. This is what they do. I just sit there and listen. Like, well, ain't that happening right here to us in the hood? You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't hear themselves. You know what I'm saying? And the world is damn near like under orders not to even say, well, ain't you doing that? You know what I'm saying? Right. Nobody says it. You know what I mean?
Nobody can say it. Once again, why I love the Israelite school UPK, because in here, we're gonna say all sides that's wrong, regardless of how somebody feel. Go ahead, you die.
I was gonna say what GEN.YAHANNA is bringing out is so heavy. I brought this out of camp. Right now in the United Nations, you know what I mean? The United States is trying to make it seem like Putin is Hitler, that he's the most evil man on earth. And meanwhile, in the UN, you know what I mean? You got Haiti sitting right there saying, hey, our people came to your shores, your borders, and you sent, you know what I mean, your devils out there on horseback to whip our people, man. And that's not a war crime. That's not being brought up. They're trying to paint Putin, you know what I mean, like he's the number one devil, like he's the enemy. Meanwhile, Joe Biden in America has done countless evil.
Ukraine, that's Ukraine. Go ahead, you die.
That was it, sir.
You know what I mean? Salaki, you die. Go ahead, Marah.
Salaki, so if I may, this right here is near the barracks. Like we walk past this all the time. It's one on the opposite side that look the exact same way. So right in the middle of the block, it just looked like they hit a bomb on both sides. It's like this one and that one look the same exact way.
That's the Ukraine. You know what I'm saying? You black people in the church sit up there. Oh, look what's happening to you, nigga. You in Ukraine? Excuse my French. You in Ukraine right now, under fire.
If I may, so when the Ukrainians be able to be safe over here, and not have to get deported. When they remodel their house, they the ones gonna get it.
Yeah,
right. The heathens, you understand?
Yes.
The heathens that come from these other countries, they take our tore down abandoned buildings that we was bombed in and destroyed in, and then they get.
That's Ukraine. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Keep going.
No,
I didn't cut you off. Keep going.
I was just saying they the ones who capitalize on once those buildings get brand new and built back up. They the ones who won't be able to live in them, not you. You know what I mean? Not blacks and Hispanics.
Right.
You know what I mean? And let me tell you something. Why did God implement tithes to the priest? God implemented 10% of your tithes to the priest because it was the priest's responsibility to take care of the people. They were the ones you went to in emergencies, in times of trouble. You went to them, and those priests went to the king. And that's how an empire runs. Well, guess what? You paying tithes in this kingdom called taxes. And them taxes in this kingdom is supposed to be to help you out in your struggle. Look at that. That's Ukraine, a.k.a. North Philly, a.k.a. South Bronx, a.k.a. Chicago, a.k.a. Detroit, a.k.a. L.A., a.k.a. every ghetto in America. New Orleans, a.k.a. every ghetto. Now, your tax dollars is supposed to go to trying to fix that type of a problem.
Right.
But instead, you get bombed, and that'll sit there for 30 years. Them red tags, them orange tags is on there. Them orange tags is on there because that thing been sitting there abandoned at least a decade. And that's why they put them tags on there, because they don't want you to go in the building because the building might fall on you and kill you. So they put a tag on there so you don't go in the building. That's the point of the tag. Like that, you suffering that, but you don't get your tax money to go and help you with that. Instead, guess what? The Ukraine is going to get $64 billion from the government, which is what a government's supposed to do. A government is supposed to, in an emergency, do its best to help its people. Right. But you don't get that. You understand? You get nothing. But the Ukrainians will get $64 billion. And again, the lesson to be learned in all of this is we should love our own. Right. And we should find the strength to learn how to love our own again. We don't have the strength to do it. We've been smashed and broken in this place and taught to hate our own and to love the slave master. But we should find a way to break our own soul, man, and bring us back to loving and caring of our own people, man, because that's how we'll come up. We put the leavening in us. Don't put no hypocrisy in us. Put real leavening in us, real care and love in you. You put it in bread because you want that bread to rise and be airy and fluffy and beautiful. Well, guess what? Put it in us. Right. So we can rise and be airy and blood and fluffy and wonderful, man. That's right. So we can be a people of greatness, man. Go ahead, you die. Please.
Biden administration requests $32.5 billion in Ukraine aid and coronavirus funds.
Didn't I just say it? They're gonna get how much?
Conor McCon, $32.5 billion.
$32.5 billion gonna go to Ukraine. And you got abandoned buildings in every ghetto in America.
Right.
You can't even get a job today past more than pretty much $15 an hour, which can't pay for nothing. Okay, damn near in this kingdom. Like, but how much they gonna get again?
Conor McCon, sir, $32.5 billion.
That's your loving democratic president. That's your loving democratic president passing good black laws, bringing in black judges, believing in equality for all mankind. He gonna sign $64 billion for the Ukrainians. And he's going to give you nothing. And you're going to love him for it. Because you believe he's for all mankind. You should wake the hell up with your dumb ass. Mainly you Christians. You should wake your stupid behind up out of the dumb ass coma you've been in for 400 years.
Right.
You understand? One more time. The number shocked me so much I can't keep it in my mind. I gotta keep asking how much it was. My brain don't hold it. I'm trying to hold it in. My brain can't hold it in. Go ahead. Say it again.
Conor McCon, Biden administration requests $32.5 billion in Ukraine aid.
32.5 billion.
Like they ain't allowed to suffer.
Now, Salaki, go say it. Say it.
Just they ain't allowed to suffer because they Caucasian. You know what I'm saying? So they not allowed to suffer. I'm looking on the news.
But wait, there ain't no racism in America. Please go ahead.
I guess so they say. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no racism, but these people with them nice coats, I see them running, refugees and fleeing, dressed well. He dressed well.
I noticed it too.
Shoes well and colorful, cheeks on them little kids look like they eating good and everything. And the world just can't see these white people suffer. You know what I'm saying? So they get the biggest. When the last time $1 billion been given to the urban communities in the hood? You know what I'm saying? And really used toward us. You know what I'm saying? They might talk about it, having meetings. Let's have a conversation. We've been having conversations since I was young. Let's hear conversations on how to help Blacks and Hispanics, but that money never get to us.
Exactly.
But they're gonna see every penny of this, the Ukraine.
Salaki, I was just gonna say, and they're gonna get the 64 billion off our backs. That 64 billion ain't coming from some money they saved.
Ain't no sacrifice made. You know,
they gonna raise our electric, our gas, hype up food. You understand? They gonna make us make our own brick. You understand? Like Pharaoh did. Like the more the Lord put hardship on them, they put more burden on us. That's where they gonna get that 64 billion.
And that's where all our taxes. Supposed to fix up them abandoned houses, right? And them burnt and bombed houses. That go to Ukraine. You know what I'm saying?
Now, if I could, somebody could pull this up quick. Somebody tell me what that budget was for that stimulus package that he signed when he first got in. Remember that package he had signed? I wonder how much was that package? How much was that package? You're adorable. How much was let's see how much that package was.
I have it, sir.
Princess Bourne said he's gonna give us $13 to $14 an hour. You so right. You so right. You understand? When nobody can pay anything on it. Well, listen, and Princess Bourne said, and gas is $4.39 a gallon. Like you better wake up. You found it? Tell me what it was.
1.9 trillion.
Okay. I can't argue with that. He went to the trill on him. He gave him $1 trillion. But now when you go in and read where that trillion going to, it ain't going to us. Go ahead, Murad.
If I may, I was battling somebody the other day. When Biden came in, remember they had to put Trump out. This all with Trump set up.
Oh,
so he was still like I said, Biden got away with the first package because Trump had already set it up. He just signed it and did whatever.
And that was it. So that was Trump's package.
Right.
There you
go. The second one, I think, was the lesser one where we got like $600 or whatever he gave us or whatever.
That
was Trump too? Yeah, he did. So Biden ain't really do nothing. So he did a
exactly.
A snake move.
And for 400 years, a little trillion ain't saying nothing. Like them Ukrainians, they've been getting bombed for 2 weeks. They got 64 billion in 2 weeks. 2 weeks of bombing, they got 64 billion. Y'all been killing us for 400 years. You understand? And the whole $1 trillion package is not for us. That's for highways, hospitals, all in Edomite neighborhoods, all that. Go ahead,
If I could, sir, what you bringing out is so heavy to piggyback what Officer Morale was bringing out. They got this 64 billion, you know what I mean, in what? 8 days of, Russia invading.
Yeah.
Congress had to, Congress and the Senate had to take like 12 breaks in the span of a year because they was debating if they wanted to give us the money or not.
That's right. And in no time they went and gave it to them. Like you living in a different world. And those of you old so-called Negroes in these churches you people are an amazing people in that you in church acting like God love everybody. But the God these people serve don't love everybody equally. He love them partially. Okay. And you still worship that God. Okay. You in church, whether they take the picture down and listen, and big shout out to the Israelite school, UPK. Captain, I'm gonna tell you what. Captain Mao Quad Captain Malquad sent me an article from 19. Oh, matter of fact, I got the video. Matter of fact, somebody get in touch with Captain Malquad and have him send you this video to cut to the soul. I'm gonna try to send it to you now, but I don't want to do it so much while I'm on the air. But he sent me a video. I'm going to shock you with this video that Captain Malquad sent. In 1969, y'all heard of Ebony magazine, right? The black magazine. Ebony magazine in 1969 did an article and put on the cover of the magazine that Jesus was black. Ebony magazine, black magazine. He put it on the magazine saying Jesus was black, right? Do you know Ebony magazine almost went out of business because black churches were so angry that Ebony magazine put it on. I'm gonna get the article for you. If somebody get the Malquad is the one I believe that sent it to me, and it is smoking. Or was it the Balma? Either Malquad or the Balma? Somebody sent me this article, and I could not believe it because I had not known about it. Okay, let me see if I can get it real quick for you. You got it? Can you? Oh, okay. You don't have the video though. Let me see if I got the video. Bear with me, y'all. I know y'all putting y'all on hold. It's 10 o'clock already. You don't want to hear that. Bear with me a second, fam. Nah, it's not there. And we're not freezing, are we? We good? That might just be my phone.
I think you sent it to me. So
you got it too?
I believe he just sent it to me.
Oh, he did? Please. I got to show y'all this article because it's amazing. They almost went out of business because you black Christians refused. You were angry that they put a black Jesus on the cover of their magazine, and you was black. And let me tell you something. That's why I said thank the Lord for the Israelite School UPK, because we single-handedly came up against the fact that you would not take down that white Jesus out your church. And we came up against it since the 60s. And through the grace and mercy of the Lord, it became unprofitable for you to keep a white Jesus in your church. And then around the 80s, they start pulling them white Jesuses because we was persecuting the demon of that white Jesus. And brother, I remember me myself, I was every week on 44th and Broadway in New York, 42nd and 8th, Brooklyn, up in the Bronx. I was smashing. They used to sell the white Jesus in a glass frame, and it was cheap, like $5 for a copy in the frame. Every week I was out there in the middle of the street. Pow! But I can't wait till we find them old tapes. Because brother, I was smashing them things. Other brothers was smashing them things. Every week we was smashing that white Jesus on the ground. They was furious with us over. But they start taking them white Jesuses out that damn church. Thanks to the Israelite School UPK, man. Thanks for brothers being strong through that persecution. And now we see what we've been suffering.
A lot of people on TV.
So that was it. You got it? Okay, this is a good one too. Is this the one on the Ukraine, the press in the Ukraine? Okay, but we're gonna play that one, but then also if you can get that, if you got the video on the black.
Now this is,
listen to this, y'all. Listen to this. Good. This is so heavy. Go ahead. Let everybody see this at home.
Now this is the cover of Ebony magazine, March 1969. The cover is of Black Jesus. And when I've heard the story behind this, the very disheartening story behind it, what happened after this Ebony magazine was published, it blew my mind, but not really. Read with me now. March of 1969, Ebony magazine was nearly put out of business. Why? They published an issue of Ebony magazine with a Black Jesus on the cover. So many in the Black community were upset to the point of threatening to cancel their subscriptions.
Not the white
community. Yeah. So everything that came from the Europeans was meant to dominate and control. Dr. John Henry Clark, the rape of the mind, the psychology of thought control, menticide, and brainwashing.
So you can stop right
I'm
there, bro. Amazing. Back in the 60s, if you said Jesus was black, you was in hell. You know the UPK went through hell to come up out the ground, brother. UPK went through hell.
A lot of
back
people on
then.
TV didn't.
You Christians in the church was angry that Ebony put that on the #1 black magazine in the 60s with all that persecution. You was upset and was going to cancel their subscriptions and put them out of business. That's how much you hated your own people. You understand? And to go back, if I could flip back for a second, y'all, real quick on the whole Ukrainian situation, you mad at Putin for what he did. And that's understandable because he's killing over there like crazy. But meanwhile, Admiral Poindexter and what's the name of the cat? Oliver North sold drugs all across America, man. Chemical warfare against blacks and Latinos, man. They created the crack epidemic in the 80s under Ronald Reagan and poisoned black ghettos and turned them into what look like Ukraine right now. You wonder why all them houses is burnt out and destroyed the way they are, because all them houses had people in them that you got on drugs through their hardship and their suffering. And meanwhile, you act like they ain't had to take the drugs. When you get sad and heartbroken, you go to the liquor store and you get you a nice drink. Matter of fact, have somebody set me up one of them nice ass drinks. Because I'm stressed. You Edomites. Okay? So my point is this. You go and have a drink when you suffering and you in pain. What about us? We're going to look for it too. But you went and poured it in the hood and destroyed our people over it. That was the equivalent of dropping a bomb on us, man. You understand? And we were so broken and so, don't mix it out, just straight with ice. Like we were so broken and so upset over it, brother, that we turned to them drugs you poured in our ghetto. And you wiped us out. So don't act like we ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't be a hypocrite. Because being a hypocrite, you anger the Most High, man.
That's right.
You anger the Most High when you do that. All right? Go ahead. Whatever you got, I'll take it.
A couple people said it was an echo early. I'm trying to see. Are they talking about the videos?
Talking about the video. It might be the videos, right? The what? Oh, okay, got you. Feedback into the thing. Okay.
Expect a war like this to happen in, let's say, certain neighborhoods.
This is not a developing third world nation. This is Europe.
These are prosperous middle-class people. These are not people.
A lot of people on TV didn't expect a war like this to happen.
God, the water. Appreciate it.
Happen in, let's say, certain neighborhoods.
This is not a developing third world nation. This is Europe.
These are prosperous middle-class people. These are not people trying to get away from areas in North Africa. They look like any European family that you would live next door to.
What could be a difference here from other conflicts, that could seem very far away, in Africa or Middle East or whatever. I mean, these are Europeans that we're seeing being killed.
This isn't a place, with all due respect, like Iraq or Afghanistan. This is a relatively civilized, relatively European, I have to choose those words carefully too, city where you wouldn't expect that or hope that it's going to happen.
Wow. That was you choosing your words carefully?
He goes on to say, crack some jokes about it. But that shows you that that's all over the world. That's all over the world that these reporters are acting like this is not supposed to happen here because this is Europe. What's going on? Why is this happening? When this should not be happening. When in fact it's happening because the Lord is bringing it. And to them, it's like, this should not be going on here. These people are better. Their racism is worldwide. Worldwide. And listen, and instinctively, they know that the end goal for them is to oppress every dark race on the earth, and they sit high and supreme above all nations. That's the plan. They don't mind that stuff going on in Africa. That's why he said, this is not like Africa, this is Europe. Like, this is where white people are at. This ain't supposed to happen here.
Good. We'll show you.
The hypocrisy. Go ahead, General.
And if you really see it, even Putin, even Russia, that Russia knows that ain't supposed to happen to white people. But like the Bible did, like the Lord did to Pharaoh, the Lord is doing the same thing to Putin. The Lord is putting the spirit on Putin to do what he's doing. You understand? This is the Most High in total control of all of that. You understand? It's not normal for a European nation to attack another European nation. That's not normal on this earth, on this planet. It's not normal. You seeing it with that clip. It's not normal nowhere. You understand? It ain't this. That ain't Haiti.
Right.
It ain't Mexico. You know what I'm saying? That ain't normal, but it's happening anyway because the Most High is the puppet master. You know what I'm saying? And he controlling it all.
God, listen, you so right, General. You so right. Okay, we done left off the stories. We done out-talk the stories. Salak. Let's get back on it. Where we at? Okay.
Russian war in world's breadbasket threatens food supply.
See that? We said this, brought this out before. What goes on down there in Ukraine is going to go down all over the world because they are all connected. Even if they act like they're not connected, that's not true. They are all connected. Go ahead.
I don't know one concert. The Russian tanks and missiles besieging Ukraine also are threatening the food supply and livelihoods of people in Europe, Africa, and Asia.
Here we go. 2 weeks in, and already the food supplies in those countries are being affected. Prices are about to go through the roof. It's about to be hell in this joint. Go ahead.
Khan, who rely on the vast fertile farmlands of the Black Sea region, known as the breadbasket of the world.
Known as the breadbasket of the world. Who knew? Around that Black Sea, they said it's fertile as hell over there. They grow tons of wheat, barley, and all kinds of staple foods for around the world and feed all over the world. You understand? And Putin and them is mad that they ain't getting that money. They mad that they ain't getting that money, and on top of it, they trying to flip the government to the West. They mad as hell. So he said, you know what? Y'all causing this war. Went back and started bombing them. Right, wrong, or indifferent, none of it matters because all of it belonged to Christ, and he coming to get it all anyway.
Damn right.
Y'all gonna give it all up to him. That's why I say them gates gonna stay open day and night. Because day and night, you gonna carry they goods straight on to Christ. Day and night, them trucks gonna be running in and out of there all day and night. If they're trucks, who knows what it'll be. But whatever it is, all of it is getting ready to go back to Christ because the whole world gonna be under his authority. Go ahead,
Ukrainian farmers have been forced to neglect their fields as millions flee and fight or try to stay alive.
They had to leave them fields, brother, because the bombs coming down on them fields is hell. And so that cut off the food. Go ahead. Putin putting hell on them out. He giving them shock and awe, just like Bush did. That's why he said he gonna have public execution. You know what I mean? Like they did not like what happened with Saddam and with, you know, we might have hated him on this side, but that was one of their boys. He didn't like that, him and Gaddafi. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
It says ports are shut down that send wheat and other food staples worldwide to be made into bread, noodles, and animal feed. And there are worries Russia, another agricultural powerhouse, could have its grain exports upended by Western sanctions.
So meaning the sanctions could cut off the grain. If the sanctions cut off the grain and cut off that stuff, brother, once again, it's whatever they sanction on him is going to affect this empire. So if you was living in poverty and hell before, you about to live in some poverty and some hell like you have never seen before. Go ahead, Cap.
If I could say so, also too, just to mention, like the witchcraft of America, like especially if you're not in the truth, like the witchcraft of America, you look at America like it's so powerful and beautiful and got all these treasure cities like Los Angeles and New York and Miami and all that. When America really just a big casino. Like these other countries got those natural resources, which is really real power. Like you understand what I'm saying? And that's why America and NATO and everything like that taking it so serious what Russia is doing, because that is what real power is. Like the picture they paint of America is like, we got everything, we strong. When America really, like they gonna definitely have to go to war with it. You know what I'm saying? So like, I just wanted to mention that.
You so right. You so right. Because this is gonna be a mess. Go ahead.
Khan, sir. It says, while there have not yet been global disruptions to wheat supplies, prices have surged 55% since a week before the invasion.
So if you bought bread at $4 last week, it's $6 today. In another week, it'll be $8. You might be getting ready to pay $12 for a loaf of bread. Like, this place about to be insane. And that's why the brotherhood is going to be everything, man. Yep. Go ahead.
Wakam.
More on that?
That's about it.
That's it? Come. Come on.
North Korea fires ballistic missile in extension of testing. North Korea on Saturday fired a ballistic missile into the sea, according to its neighbors, militaries extending Pyongyang's streak of weapons tests this year amid a prolonged freeze in nuclear negotiations with the United States. South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff said the missile fired from an area near the North Korean capital flew about 270 kilometers, 160 miles eastward at a maximum altitude of 560 kilometers, 348 miles, before landing in waters between the Korean Peninsula, and Japan. And it said the U.S. and South Korean intelligence officials were closely analyzing the launch.
I mean, them Koreans, boy, they bold as hell. Okay. War breaking out in Ukraine, they like, y'all got to recognize us. Mm-hmm. Shot that missile right into the river near North Korea. Like, that's what this is triggering. Like, I'm waiting. If this thing spread one block outside of Ukraine, that's it. It's going to roll. And they already talking about skirmishes all over the planet. They all sitting in their think tanks. They all sitting around trying to figure out what they can and can't do. Like the scripture said, I will put it into their minds. I bloweth the smith that maketh the coal. I mean, Did I get that right?
I make it the smith.
I make it the smith that bloweth the coal, Salagi. Like the Lord is going to do that, and he's doing it in them now. And North Korea, this ain't a mistake that 2 weeks in a row, they done fired off a missile. The 2 weeks that the war is going on in Ukraine, they done fired a missile both times. Like to say, don't look at this as an opportunity to get us. We'll fire on you. It's an amazing time. Go ahead, Doc.
Salaki. It says the launch was North Korea's 9th round of weapons test in 2022, as it continues to use a pause in diplomacy to expand its military capabilities while attempting to pressure the Biden administration for concessions. The flight details roughly matched an earlier assessment by the Japanese military and were similar to North Korea's previous launch last Sunday that was also conducted from the Sunan area near Pyongyang. The missile was fired just as international community is responding to Russia's invasion of Ukraine, while also in the middle of the Beijing Paralympics, said Japanese Defense Minister Nobuo Kaishi. He canceled an appearance at a military academy graduation to respond to the launch, calling it absolutely unacceptable. Says the U.S. Indo-Pacific Command said the launch did not pose an immediate threat to the United States personnel or territory or that of its allies. It's called on North Korea to refrain from further destabilizing acts, and it said was closely consulting with South Korea and Japan, as well as other regional allies and partners over the launch.
Like, they mad as hell. They all sitting down. Go ahead, General.
I'm just looking at the map. I see where it went into the water. It's right there, like North Korea sitting right on top of South Korea. The South Korea is a little island right there. Damn, they got to go through North Korea to go anywhere. And Japan is right across the water. So he like flexing on both of them. You know what I mean?
Like he's right there and saying, look, he's damn near saying, I'm ready to jump in and bomb South Korea anytime Russia gets ready. Russia say, yo, let's all hit them all. And, I'll take them out right there.
Make this one big coalition.
Right. You know what I mean? Like, and they both siding up. I was talking to Muhammad the other night. He was like, listen, they all got to choose a side now. And that's so true. Like, they both, every country got to choose what side they on because it's about to get dirty. You know what I'm saying? So they both got to choose what side. Go ahead. That it on that? All right, let's move on. We'll take a little time we got and finish up these other stories. Amazing.
Death toll nears 6 million as pandemic enters its third year.
Third year, 6 million deaths. 6 million. They lifting the mask, but them deaths still coming. That plague is still coming. And it could take a turn for the worse at any time. At any time, it could have another variant. Go ahead. Let me let you read the story.
Colonel Khan, sir. The official global death total from COVID-19 is on the verge of eclipsing 6 million, underscoring that the pandemic, now entering its third year, is far from over. The milestone is the latest tragic reminder of the unrelenting nature of the pandemic, even as people are shedding masks. Travel is resuming, businesses are reopening around the globe. The death toll compiled by Johns Hopkins University stood at 5,997,000 as on Sunday afternoon.
5 million. Go ahead.
Remote Pacific islands whose isolation had protected them for more than 2 years are just now grappling with their first outbreaks and deaths. Hong Kong, which is seeing deaths soar, is testing its entire population of 7.5 3 times this month as it clings to mainland China's zero COVID strategy. As death rates remain high in Poland, Hungary, Romania, and other Eastern European countries, the region has seen more than 1 million refugees arrive from war-torn Ukraine, a country poor with vaccination coverage with high rates of cases and deaths. And despite its wealth and vaccine availability, the United States is nearing 1 million reported deaths on its own.
U.S. took a million hit. Hand of the Most High. Nothing to be played with. Being aware that these things the Lord is bringing and that you're not to participate in the evil that is a part of this world. Okay? Like a lot of you getting ready to go get your rifle and you blacks and Latinos and you getting ready to go over to Ukraine and start going over there trying to fight, getting hungry and all that. White people, y'all should go. I saw they had a bunch of white boys talking about they going to Ukraine. They ain't in the military, but they ex-military. And they said, man, we going over to Ukraine because we don't like what Putin is doing over there. So we just going to go over there and join the fight. I think that that's noble of them. Right. I think they should go over there, take their weapon, use them army skills, and get it on. You know what I mean? White people are dying in Ukraine. Right. Handle your business, man. Nothing wrong with that. What's wrong with that? You know what I mean? As a civilian, the United States didn't tell them they couldn't go. You know what I mean? The State Department didn't tell them they could go. They said, it's up to them, whatever they want to do. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? People went and joined the Iraqis in them when they was fighting Al-Qaeda and all that. Remember they were going over there and setting up and bringing young girls and all that, moving all out there, marrying them fighters, and they was joining them fighters. They said, "Oh, let them go ahead." So I think if you white in America, there's nothing wrong with you doing that. If you black in America, you a goddamn fool.
That's right.
if I could, so for damn sure they need to go ahead and round up all those road border patrols that they got down there on the border of Mexico, fearing for Mexicans coming in. I don't know what they thought the Hispanics was going to do to Americans here, but seeing as that all them Ukrainians dying, all them cats that's military on the border got the walkie-talkies and all them guns and want to do so much right for white people, they for damn sure need to go over there and help them Ukrainians.
That's right. What did Donald Trump say to the Proud Boys? Stand back and stand fast.
Right.
So go on and join the battle with the Ukrainians. Stand fast.
Damn right.
Oath keepers. You know what I mean? John Burke Society, the White Right, the Aryan Nation, Posse Comitatus, all of them. Man, this is the time, man. Grease up them guns, man. And go on over there and make sure you clear with the State Department to do that. And y'all go over there. You black people, you go over there, you a goddamn clown. I'm going to show you a story right quick, Marah. I sent you one of the clips of the sister that got killed, the military sister that got killed in the story. Can you give it to me? Like, I want y'all to see what happened to a sister that went into the military. First of all, a lot of you go into the military and you don't understand. When you go into the military, you can't do what you want to do. You're under direct orders at all times. You have to do, you can't decide you don't want to do what them orders is. See, at home, you can tell your husband, you ain't doing that. You could tell your man, I ain't doing that. You could argue with it. As an American, you have that right. In Christ's kingdom, you would not have that right. But in America, you have that right to rebel against your husband. It's not wise to do, but you have the right in this empire to do it. It always costs you, but they let you do it. In the military, you don't have that right. You understand? If you can pause it in the beginning, right before we go in. You don't have that right. And if you don't have that right, then guess what? You cannot do it in the military. They do whatever they want to do. Well, this sister joined the military thinking she was doing a righteous, noble thing. And let me let the story tell for itself. For those of you, this is inspiration for those of you black women and black men that want to go and fight in the Ukraine and don't want to help blacks and Latinos dying in the streets of America, but want to join Ukraine. Let me break it down nice and loud if you can turn it up for us to hear it.
Her name is Lavina Johnson. In 2006, she went to Iraq to fight for this country the same time as my oldest brother and my dad. This is why, especially you black women, you shouldn't go to the army. Now, while she was in Iraq, she ended up dying over there, and they ruled it a suicide, more like a cover-up. They also did an autopsy on her in the army, just flat out lied, okay? But they told her parents that they believed that she committed suicide, which was just a cover-up. The army told her family that they should have a closed casket funeral, and her father said no, it's going to be open. And at the open casket funeral, her father actually realized several discrepancies when it came to the army story. So he decided to hire his own team to investigate. Come to find out, this beautiful sister had blunt force to the head. Her teeth had been knocked out. She had a broken nose. She had chemical burns poured in her vagina. And someone glued her gloves on. They gamed her. They damn near beat her to death. And then they shot her in the head and poured acid in her vagina to cover their tracks. Look at that beautiful sister right there, black people. Her name is Lavina Johnson. In 2006, she went to Iraq to fight for this country the same time as my oldest brother and my dad. And this is why, especially you black women, you shouldn't go to the army. Now, while she was in Iraq, she ended up dying over there, and they ruled it a suicide, more like a cover-up. They also did an autopsy on her in the army, just flat out lied, okay? But they told her parents that they believed that she committed suicide, which was just a cover-up. The army told her family that they should have a closed casket funeral, and her father said no, it's going to be open. And at the open casket funeral, her father actually realized several discrepancies when it came to the army story. So he decided to hire his own team to investigate. Come to find out, this beautiful sister had blunt force to the head. Her teeth had been knocked out. She had a broken nose. She had chemical burns poured in her vagina. And someone glued her gloves on. They gamed her. They damn near beat her to death. And then they shot her in the head and poured acid in her vagina to cover their tracks. Look at that beautiful sister right there, black people. Her name is Lavina Johnson.
Already traumatized the young man up in here already. It's a locket, brother. Like, that's hell. Welcome to America. They went and gang raped this sister, and then to cover up their tracks, poured acid in her vagina. then glued her gloves onto her. I don't know why they did that. Y'all got to tell me, y'all.
I mean, I would think if I could, so I would think because whatever gun they use, they probably maybe put their hand in her glove to shoot the gun and shoot her in the head and put the glove on her. I don't know. I'm just guessing.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. It's some dirty, disgusting. You think you a killer? Them Edomites brothers on another level. And you in that military, you got to follow them orders. If they say go 3 blocks down to the warehouse and wait there, you got to go. You stand in a warehouse, it's 3 a.m. You got orders to be there. You don't know why you there. You just got orders to be there. Next thing you know, 20 cats pull up in the van, jump out and gang rape you and have a party with you. Beat the hell out of you, knock your teeth out because you're trying to resist. Beat you halfway bloody, break your nose, like they said. Beat the hell out of her. You understand? And then when they get finished and had a good time, probably Klansmen, who the hell knows who they are.
If I did a story weeks ago, General, where a lot of military brothers and sisters is turning down assignments because they know when they go to these assignments, they family that's on base get ridiculed and it's so racist because of the racism. They turn down assignment, which can mess their whole career up. They go to there for better opportunity and career and all that. Then find out when they're there, it's certain jobs they can't take because they'll go to areas where the Klan and racist other military men it'd be tormenting you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then you lose your life. So they saying no to a lot of assignments and then get punished for it a lot of times
because they refuse to go.
Get now they got to go to the worst.
They're going, of course, like an Edomite, he gonna take revenge.
Yeah,
on it.
And it ruined your career. And now you're in there
Somebody
and your career ruined. You know what I'm saying? So there's a mess in there for men, brothers, and sisters.
Exactly. Like that's insane. You know what I mean? Like he gonna.
Oh, so like I was.
Like that's insane.
Go
ahead.
So like if I may, sir. If you look at the picture of the sister right there, like that, if I could, like that's not a soldier, like and that's why the Lord put a man, to give a man authority over a woman and over a sister, because she got a M16 in her hand, look like an M16 in her hand, but that is not a soldier. That is not, that is not fit for war. In this picture.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? And she's around all these, animals. You know what I mean? She's in the midst of, bloodthirsty animals. And that's not a soldier. Like, there's no way, that picture right there, Rise, even as a father, I can just imagine my daughter. I mean, you cannot let your woman go to war. She don't got it in her. Like that picture's just clear.
Right. That's why they go there and they got to take on certain spirits to even adapt.
Right.
To adapt around this world that she ain't supposed to be in, she got to take on other spirits, and they go crazy, man. I mean, when I was a teenager, man, I was on my way to work or something, hopped in the whip with a young, I think maybe early 20s, I don't know. And a sister I grew up with, I've seen her, walking real like crippled with like one of her grandmoms or something like that. And I said, Miss Ida, whatever her name. I said, are you okay? Is Luciannon, I think her name. I said, Luciannon, all right? She said, she all right, baby. She all right. I'm trying to get her to the clinic over on Lancaster Avenue. She went to that damn military and then they called her back. She just went into a whole trauma. They called her back and she just lost it and just, start going crazy mentally. And so she taking her, trying to get her to the hospital, no cars. I tell you, y'all can get her, I'll give him a ride to the joint just because, and this was a beautiful young girl, man. Like, again, she did not belong in no military for sure. And whatever happened the first time she was there, they called her to come back and her whole shit shut down. It's like to
her, it was better to die than to go back in there. You listening to your stupid uncle and your stupid, especially you Christians in the church for years. This is something else we got rid of in them churches. For years in them churches, man, you come. Sorry to cut you off.
Oh, no, I'm done.
For years in them churches, you would come back from basic training in the military, and then they would go right to church and wear their uniform because they were so honored when they went to church. I remember as young, seeing them go up in the church. They got the uniform on. The preacher get up and say, brother so-and-so is back from basic training. He looking so good and he's ready for the war. And I'm the only thing I can think of, because of course I don't believe in none of this Christian stuff. So the only thing is in my mind is, do they know that what he do in that military? And he in there learning how to kill. Like I'm in the hood knowing Negroes with guns kill.
Right.
They send him to the military. They're giving him a gun. He going to kill. So why are you celebrating him? It was what was in my mind. I didn't know at the time. I was young, but I didn't know at the time. But now I understand. You praise him because the master praised him. You know what I mean? They don't do it as much anymore, but y'all was praising him in these churches like it was a beautiful thing. He went up into that military when he was going to kill. How you going to be a Christian? Say you believe in Christ. Say all that say that black people should turn the other cheek and forgive white people for what they did, like they do in every court case. You Negroes get up and love the murderer and say you don't have no persecution against him, none of that. Yet you send your sons and daughters to the military not to turn the other cheek. You send them to the military to kill. You approve for them to go in the military and kill, and then turn around and go to church when it comes to a white man in America and say we should forgive him. Like they did that murderer that went in there and murdered them women in that church. I still ain't found out the report on whether them women was raped. It'll come out in 20 years. It'll come out in 20 years that them women was raped and sodomized and God knows what that disgusting Dylan Roof did. I heard he's in prison now running a prison gang. He in there doing the same damn thing he was doing on the street. He was a neo-Nazi running the streets, and now he in jail running the jail. They said them Proud Boys in there scared as hell when they go into jail. All them old January 6 cats that done got locked up, they scared to hell because Dylan Roof in there with nothing but killers telling them, we want all your white supremacist list. Give it to us. All your members, we want their list. We calling them up. They joining up. He over there taking over all them Proud Boys cats and Oath Keepers and all them in there. And whoever don't give up the list, they're getting shanked in the bathroom or whatever. God knows what the hell they doing up in them prisons. You understand? And meanwhile, who knows what he did to black people up in there? And you telling them to go to the military. That's why God is mad. Once again, being a goddamn hypocrite. You're going to say you love God, you love Jesus, turn the other cheek, love everybody, Jesus love everybody, and your son's coming home from boot camp in uniform, and you praising them like they a real man. For years, I used to hear black women in the hood say, go to the military so you can become a man. The reason he ain't becoming a man now is because you ran his daddy off. And now you want the white man to make him a man. Who's going to make him an animal like him. Which is insanity we living in this place. And so let that be a lesson to all the sisters. And let me tell you something. If you join the military and you don't go through officer school, you basically a bum. Let me tell you straight up. Why do I say that? Because that means you joined the military because you had no other way out. You didn't have no prospect of life, no prospect of a decent job. So you went to the military because they promised you a career. When you could have turned around and come to the Israelite school of UPK, I would have gave you a job. I'd have gave you a career, man. I'd have gave you something to live and fight and stand for. Instead, you went up into that military and did God knows what horrible things you did when you was up in that military. And God knows what horrible things our sisters are going to have to do and survive in there. Now, with that being said, understand this, that Christ have forgiven us for our sins. All of us for our sin, and giving us a chance to repent. So I don't hold you responsible for being up in that military and what you did, and I don't have the authority to do it because Christ have given you mercy. But wake up and learn from that mercy and don't be caught up in it, and damn sure don't act like it's something to be proud of. Wake up, man, black people and Latino people. Wake up. All right? Y'all got that? We good? Where we going? Please.
Just to add on to how women shouldn't be soldiers. I got this Ukrainian sister. I don't know if y'all seen the video of a Ukrainian woman soldier. She trying to snipe somebody, and the sniper shoot damn near and shoot and knock her
at the wall.
And
what happened?
She's trying to snipe somebody out the window,
right?
If I may. And as she's doing that, another sniper shoots right through her window and damn near hit her head, knock her whole head off. She's sitting there looking like what's going on? She's laughing about it, but she almost died, literally, trying to be a soldier. I don't know if you wanted to see the video or not.
First of all, it's just okay. Here's how dumb it is. If you are a female, you in anywhere where men is at that can't get to women, you going to get raped. Without the truth of the Most High, you are a fool. I put you in a wherever, name it. I'll send you anywhere in the planet where there are no women at, and your dumb ass is sitting up in there with soldiers. You sit in there long enough, you going to get raped. Without a doubt. And listen, here's what, if I'm coming to you now. What's so scary about it is this, that a lot of women in the military, when they get in that position, they find one of those men in there and start a relationship with him, because they know if they do not find one of them, usually the strongest or meanest or hardest cat they can, because they know if they don't, eventually they're going to get gang raped by everybody. And it's horrible. It's horrible that you have to have sex to survive, and you have to do it under persecution. When you are, as a daughter of Zion, you're an honorable woman, and that honorable woman is supposed to be able to marry a husband that she loves and cares for and dedicate her life to. And especially if you come into the truth where you become brand new, regardless of what happened to you in the past. So to turn around after that and be a dumbass and send your child or yourself to the military to die. There's 26,000 rapes in the military that's reported. That's not the unreported. 26,000 a year that's reported. You know how much that is? That's over 2,000 rapes a month that is reported. 2,000. Break it down, 500 rapes a week. Feel that for a moment. 500 reported rapes a week in the United States military. That does not include the ones that's not reported. 500.
If I may, John.
Please.
John,
I'm coming back to you.
It's like it, John, if I could, sir.
Kick it down.
That's ridiculous in essence, because, you know, of the lies and the Christian church. You understand what I'm saying? A black woman or woman, period, goes to the military in America and becomes a prostitute.
You certainly are going to drop morally to a lower level. You ain't going to be the high moral. First of all, you got to be out there on your monthly in some desert somewhere stinking for 7 days that the enemy going to smell you the hell out. He ain't got to send the track dog. Hell, you stuck in the damn bush somewhere. You understand? And you know, you in survival mode. It's ridiculous. You know what I mean? But this man being a beast, give you the lie like he gave Eve that you gonna be like a god. You gonna be something exceptional. And man, you with your dumb ass thinking that you gonna be something great and exceptional, he gonna allow you to be like a man. You're gonna allow to be like a god. You're gonna be allowed to be a diva. You're gonna be allowed to do that. But what he's not gonna tell you is you're gonna lose your humanity in it. You're gonna use your virginity. You're gonna lose your femininity. You're gonna lose your shamefacedness. Let me tell you something now. Being shamefaced is a glory onto a woman. Meaning a woman who is, shamed at exposing herself. You have no idea how valuable that is as a human being. Like that adds value to you, meaning you don't show everybody your body, which means you are valuable. But this world teaches you that that's silly, that that's young, that that's stupid, that you should be free with your body. You should show your body, that your body is God's creation and you should show the sculpture. When in essence, they're saying to take away the value of yourself. Don't do people just throw $1 million diamonds out on the street corner? Can you go in the gutter and find $1 million diamond? No, you can't. Why? Because it's expensive. It's worth a lot of value. Care is taken to it. You understand? But you can find a potato chip bag out there. There's tons of potato chip bags sitting in the gutter. Right. So if you expose yourself in that way and have no shamefacedness, you're a potato chip bag. That's what you're worth. And in your stupid mind, that you think that means you're free and a diva and something special when you're an idiot. When if you were exclusive and looked at yourself as exclusive and looked at what you have to offer as exclusive, two things would happen. One, you would treat yourself differently than you do. You would be totally different than you do. And also you would carry yourself with men a certain way. And men would value you because you not what they used to call you ain't easy. Back in the day, they used to use that term. I don't know if they still do. They used to use that term easy. She easy. Somebody said you was easy. That meant you could easily have sex with her because she wasn't shamefaced about herself, about her humanity. And again, this place turned your brain upside down to make you think that is stupid and dumb and young. When that is your, like, that's your true nature. Like, how many kids ain't born to just, when they turn a certain age, to just don't care about their body? Anybody that raised a daughter would know this. When your kid is 3 years old, they just throw their pamper off and they don't care. They ain't thinking about their body. But when she turned 9 and 10, she say, Daddy, don't come in the room. I'm not dressed. Daddy, stop. Don't come in here. Because now she's aware of her body. And if she's supposed to be allowed to be that way. Go ahead, Jim.
If I may, same with little boys. You teach them how to go to the bathroom. You teach them how to pee, right? It come an age when they like, close the door, Dad. What are you doing?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. You know what I mean? Like, that's something that's supposed to be valuable. That's why public toilets are an abomination. Because the only place where they don't have a goddamn full wall and full door is in the damn bathroom. Everywhere else in the empire, the door go from the ceiling to the floor, except the bathroom. Like, that's ass backwards.
Right.
It's a lot. I get a little carnal. You know what I mean? When I went to Egypt the first time, I was shocked. I don't know what it's like now. But when I went to Egypt back in the 90s, I walked into a bathroom. I couldn't believe it. The stall of the bathroom was like a room. Like, they ain't have no stall where, you know, you could look underneath and peeping Toms climbing over the top. It was a booth with a real door that shuts and locks, and you in there by yourself and the fans blowing above, sucking the air out of there if any odors in there. And I was like, well, goddamn, talk about some privacy. Not that they got it any better, they got it from us. But Esau is like a Greek or a Roman that just lined the toilets up. Give them enough time. They ain't gonna even, them little walls, them going up the wild too. They already in the urinal stall. The urinal stall they ain't got no walls no more. It used to be a time when they had walls in the urinal. This kingdom's a mess. Go ahead, Jim.
When we first did the Delaware camp, before Tazaiwan and them came through, there was a library across the street from the camp. Brothers used to go to the bathroom. And one day I went over there. I knew Mashak and the brothers was over there. DC used to come down. I would meet them there. Some of us from Philly, and we do camp in Delaware. Went to this library and across from the camp, and I opened the door, and a brother is full out sitting on the toilet looking at me. Like, you talk about a stall with a door. No, there was no door. There was a toilet. And this man, Mashak in the bathroom already. He over in the cut by the urinal. He turned and looked at me and said, Salakia, sir. I said, what the fuck? I said, oh, I had to go back out just to try to get a little privacy. But this is a public bathroom with different urinals, this one toilet with no door, you know. I said, what in the hell is going on?
And let me tell you something. That's part of the desensitizing you to your own humanity. They want you to not feel that. They consider that juvenile. When that is important, that go for a man too. Like, a man is not supposed to be comfortable with his shirt off. Right. Even though in this society, a man taking his shirt off like it ain't nothing. It's like you consider soft if you ain't, you know what I mean, take your shirt off. When if you had to take it off to go to war, you take it off. But you should have some sense of humanity that you don't. That you cover yourself up. We are dignified people. Go read our history. We stayed covered head to toe. Right. You understand? We didn't show. I mean, and we was more the beautiful for it. You understand? We was more beautiful for it. Forget about it in jail, man. We got locked up in Baltimore one time, brother. You see that the toilet was from me to this camera, and it was 30 of us in that damn cell. And when you gotta go, you gotta go. And cats sitting there. Ain't nothing there but the toilet, and 30 cats in the cell. And you got to damn, for righteousness' sake, you got to turn your head every 20 minutes because somebody got to go sit on the toilet. And us being Israelites, they had to ask. They didn't understand why we was doing this. They were giggling at first, like, what's wrong with y'all? Then we explained to them what the scriptures say, that the Lord said that a man should not show another man his nakedness, that this is wrong. And they were shocked, like, damn, okay, that makes sense, because they was desensitized to it. We've lost our morality here, but the Bible can give it back to us. You Christians have been hypocrites, man, and you have upheld brothers going in the military, man, doing horrible. These brothers coming back out from there so messed up. Them cats that came back from Iraq, man, you understand? I had a good conversation with my man out in California. I better not say his name, but good brother out there under Goodall Hard, man. He picked me up from the airport. We had a 2-hour ride. Brother, he told me some horror stories, man, of the things he's seen and experienced. And that's why he loved the UPK, man. He up in this truth, holding it down, doing the work of the Lord, because he saw the other side of death. And that brother said, man, yo, I'm from Brooklyn, man. I've seen it all. I saw it in Brooklyn, he said. And I saw it when I was in the military, man. I seen it all, General, you know what I'm saying? And I ain't dealing with nothing else but the UPK, because this is where righteousness is standing at. You understand? And he love it, because here's where justice is at and righteousness on both sides. So it's evil as hell, man. We over the time. We're going to steal a couple minutes from y'all. If y'all willing to hang with us for a little bit, we'll steal a little bit more time and get a little bit more. And y'all got anything else you want to drop before I take it back to you, Dai? Salakia. Now, y'all got to wait a minute, you Dai. Before we go any further, we got to do the Puerto Rico story. And what else we holding? What other story? Did I send you anything else? We did the Noah story. We did what's the other one? Trevor Noah, we did. Let's just do the Puerto Rico story, because that's important right now. Okay. Big shout out to all our the tribe of Ephraim. Big shout out to I.S.U.P.K, man. Been holding us down for a long time, man. Captain I.S.U.P.K, let me get it right. Okay, been holding us down for a long time out of DC camp, man. Brother came up from Puerto Rico and warred the bill, went back and rebuilt Puerto Rico camp. Been warring in DC, and you got to be really brick hard to roll with General Shalmar in DC. And them brothers rolling hard. He been rolling a long time, man. Raised his daughter by himself. Okay, while warring to build the DC camp, man. An absolutely amazing brother of the tribe of Ephraim, man. Yeah, we ain't giving up none of our tribes, man. Damn that. That's right. You understand? And you out your damn mind if you think the tribes got to love you for you to love them. You don't love yourself. Like, we fighting and killing each other every day. What you mad at the other tribes for not loving you for? You understand? You better make them love you. You better make them wake up. You better make them understand who they are. You understand? I'm coming for all you tribes, and I don't give a damn if you like me or not. You understand? I don't give a damn if you call me the enemy or not. You understand? You ain't going to be able to stop the power I'm coming with. The power. What you think we raising an army for no reason? We raising an army to bring righteousness among blacks and Latinos and Native Indian, brotherhood and kindness, man, and sisterhood. You ain't going to be able to stop it. I don't give a damn who you are. We're going to run all over you in your hatred for the other tribe. Damn right. You understand? This white man ain't never been on our side, but we have been on each other's side. Damn. We have warred and fought together. You just don't know your goddamn history. So you can hate me today. You will love me tomorrow. That's right. Okay? You can best believe that. Okay, go ahead. And a lot of you hate us because you love the white man and you know he hate us. So you ready to change sides, you goddamn traitor. You ready to give up your spirit and your tribe and try to become a white man and make your hair blonde and become a white boy so that you can be loved by the slave master. I got bad news for you. God know who you are, nigga, hiding behind the blonde hair. What are you, dumb? God said, I made the eye. Can I not see? He see your black ass hiding behind whiteness. Dumb. You understand? And he gonna root you out and expose you for being who you are, a goddamn traitor to your own tribe. That's why I tried to tell the brother from the Proud Boy. I tried to tell him, man, I had mercy on him because he said his parents had been murdered by Castro and them. And I tried to tell him, I'm sorry to hear that, brother. But didn't they turn on Castro and them and their own people? Because that's exactly what happened. He mad trying to join the white boys and trying to join their crusade because, of course, he mad at what happened with Fidel and all that. But Fidel was killing traitors, and his parents sided with the enemy. And that's what goes on in war. And as a result, This is what happened. That's why them Afghanistanians was running after that plane like chickens without their head, because they had been traitors to their own Afghanistanian people. And when America got the hell up out of there, they ran after the damn plane like Jesus was leaving. Like Christ was leaving without them to the kingdom. You understand? Go ahead. Go ahead, Cap.
So you made a real good point in saying how you brought up how, the brother, sided with his enemy because his people, he felt as though his people killed his mother and his father. And like, that's the same psychological damage our people go through. And then you grow up in the ghetto, you see brothers killing each other. Your brother killed, your brother.
Yeah, exactly.
Brother kill your brother, and then you go off somewhere else and love white people, and then come up against us and say, nah, all white people ain't bad and all that, and you hate your own because you see your own murder each other since you've been born. It's a lot.
I've seen brothers say that through tears. A white man ain't killed my cousin. White man ain't killed my peoples, man.
Right.
A nigga did it. And what I'm supposed to do? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we take that, of course, and use that as an excuse to be a traitor to the whole race.
Exactly.
You're so right, Al. You're so right. All right, let's get it on. Where we going?
This is the article I found that sums up most of it.
Sir?
No, the video on Puerto Rico. Yeah, you got it. It should be in that list, no? Y'all got to get this video on Puerto Rico out. It's amazing. Tell me you got it. No? Hold on. I thought I did. Let me get it. I'm going to get it for you right now. Y'all bear with me a second at home. I'm going to get it to him right now. You got to move super fast. You ready? I'll send it to you right now. All right.
That's not in the top.
That's the article on it.
Okay.
I'm coming right now. I'm getting good at this joint. Y'all with. All right. Tell me when you got it. It should hit any second. Send in. No? Beautiful. Can you get it up quick enough, or do I need to do a story before it? Oh my goodness, you bad as you could be. Come on with it. Come on with it. Play this video from the beginning, man. Like this right here. This is this is the problem. This is hypocrisy. Right?
Rising in Puerto Rico.
This is it right here. Give it to him when you're ready. And I'll come back.
Puerto Rico.
It's not your beach. It's not your beach. It's not your beach. It's not your island.
By law, all beaches in Puerto Rico are public, but a group of Puerto Ricans say they were trying to set up to play on the beach, and this man sat in the middle to keep them from doing that. The man and his wife said they own a house over here, and they did not want the Puerto Rican.
By now, tons of people have sent me this video. I cannot count how many, about these wealthy Americans that bought property in Puerto Rico under the new law as a tax haven for the rich. And you can't be surprised. It is white privilege working at its finest. White wealthy North Americans have been buying property and corporations and a bunch of other shit in Puerto Rico since the 1920s, if not further back, because it's all part of the colonization process. That is why we either become a state or we become independent and completely unlinked from the United States of America. Those are the two viable choices, to be honest. But if we keep staying in this fucking limbo called the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico, this is never going to end. And now we're literally selling our island to the highest bidder. And it is disgusting. Then they come to our own backyard and establish their own rules and tell us what to do. Now they even want to take our fucking beaches because they think somehow they have ownership in them. Just like the Navy did in Vieques. And people don't get this. We need to fight back. And there's some of you out there that feel bad because we're saying things to these humans. Listen, I don't care. We've been abused long enough, and it is time to put our foot down. The further we allow this to keep going, the worse it's going to get. We need to stop it now because it spins out of control really fast. It's fucking tragic. Our island is not for fucking sale.
Tensions are rising in Puerto Rico.
To wake you up, it take that beast to come down there and kick your behind right off your own lawn, right off your own beach. You gonna wake up then. Now he sound like us. I bet you've been going to church for 20 years.
Right.
But now he sound like us, right or wrong. Like that's what it takes. They went down there and ran them off their own beach, Puerto Ricans themselves, and that's how them beasts are. Like them beasts, and you gonna tell me that's not a man that's a racist? You come from another part of the world into Puerto Rico where Puerto Ricans live, and you buy a house there, and then you run the very native people who've lived on this land for thousands of years. Taino and Boricua Indians, you run them off the land and say, we own this house up here, get the hell off the beach. A beach that you don't own or have any authority to run anybody off of. You are a racist beast. And you hate the Puerto Rican. Because the only way you could do that is you have to hate the people you going to take from.
Right.
That means in your mind, you hate them. They don't deserve the land. They don't deserve, and you have to have heaven. Y'all, please. Help me out here. Maybe it's just me.
If I may, what's next is, I mean, you gotta, like you said, so you gotta know who your enemy is. What's next is they're gonna stand their ground and shoot one of them Puerto Rican brothers for being on their property.
Now you tell me about loving them with that. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. And you tell me now. Go tell your Christian. Tell that white man to be a good Christian and love the Puerto Ricans. You think he gonna listen to that? And some of them hate us so much, they move into your zone to take over. You watching gentrification and you seeing them yuppies moving, and in your mind, they just buying the property because it's low and they can get a good deal on. And it's gentrification. They buying the property because they want to tear your guts out. But they can't, because under their laws, they can't do it. So they do it this way, economically, steal your property. Like the same, sorry, real quick. The same thing they doing to Putin in Ukraine, cutting him off economically. That's what he doing. That's what that Edomite is doing. That Edomite is acting like the Russians. He moving into an area in Puerto Rico. That land is not his land. The beach does not belong to him. But he gonna take over the beach and run you off the beach, off of your own land, for his own economic heaven. And how could you, last point out, how could you move to Puerto Rico and enjoy the beautiful beaches and enjoy the beautiful weather and be in Puerto Rico and hate the very people that all this paradise you in belong to? And you hate them all. Like only an animal could do that. Go ahead,
Because if I could, I get one scripture.
Please.
So give me the scripture where it says, "Thou shalt not remove that neighbor's landmark."
Good one.
Give me that one. And if I could, so real quick, in that, didn't Puerto Rico just suffer that long power outage for a minute when I think a storm or something hit
they
Puerto
had a
Rico?
hurricane.
Like
Donald Trump was throwing rolls of paper towel at it.
Throwing rolls of paper towel, and then they come from North America.
People slogging, people dying. People dying out because they can't get their insulin or keep their insulin refrigerated because all the generators went out.
And now they can't have the beach either.
And now they can't. Go ahead.
I don't want to just bring that out to where we like you said earlier in the show, like they don't see none of our pain. They see none of it. You understand? All they see is like what's theirs and just what's theirs. When that house, I mean, that beach been there longer than forever. You understand? And just like you saying, Jonah, you're so right. Like the nerve, like how can a human being have the nerve? Like you on a whole beach and say, "Get off my beach." That's
a different mind.
Yeah, that's different. So
that's the kind of mind that my heaven is. I go kill these people or take over their land and run them off the land. I get to live in heaven. Black people don't think like that. Latino people don't think like that, but they do. They believe that way. They think that way. It's crazy.
And if I could, GEN.YAHANNA also too. That goes to show Ephraim, man. A lot of them tribes who you were saying in other show who like to try to use that skin color to try to blend in and socialize and be able to prosper with the so-called white man. You understand? To show that they know the difference. When it all boils down to it, they know that you're a slave. You understand? Even though with that light skin and all that, you got the scripture out. Baba good shot.
You're right. You're right. And that's why big shout out to all the Ephraimites, man, and the UPK who strong and stood up and upheld this truth, man. Captain Katazar, Captain Ashaparium, all them badass cats, man. and all those Latino tribes too, man, because you're going to keep the spirit in the brotherhood. Because there's a lot of Latinos out there that know the story.
Right.
You understand? I grew up around Latinos, man. They be knowing the story. They know the ones that's trying to pass for Edomites and live among the Edomites and willing to turn on their own. They handle them very differently than they do. Go down to Mexico. Go down to Mexico City and all that, Tijuana. Go down there and see how they deal. They deal differently with them Edomites than they deal with them Israelites. They handle them in a different way because they know this cat here is not going to be compassionate and kind, but them brothers will be. It's a different kind of thing, and they got a battle on their hand. And them Latino brothers that's up here with us, they got a fight on their hand too. All of them, the Issacharites, all of y'all got to fight on your hand because your people is just like the tribe of Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. They hard-headed and want to join the Edomites too.
Right.
And that skin make them think sometimes that that's the better avenue. You got to fight on your hand, and you need to cut the hell out of them, man. And not with a knife. Don't nobody go out and get me sent to the penitentiary. I'm telling them to cut people. With the truth cutter. And send their ass in there to wake up and understand that they going off. Salaki, go ahead, General. Was you Cat?
It's like if we had time, only we had time. I wanted
Please.
those brother pull the scripture, bro.
Go ahead. Throw it on there.
Wakanda, Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 19 and verse 14. Thou shalt not remove thy neighbor's landmark, which they of old time have set in thy inheritance, which thou shalt inherit in the land that the Lord God giveth thee to possess it.
You ain't supposed to move a man's landmark. That is the island of Puerto Rico, rich port, home of the Taino Ibarigua Indians, not you Edomites,
Right.
man. And big shout out to Hazahab. Hazahab said they made PR a tax haven for cryptocurrency. And that's true. They turned Puerto Rico into a haven. Now, the brothers and sisters out there is poor as hell, but they turned it into a tax haven for where they can go in and buy the houses and the land with no taxes and be tax-free. So that means that their money don't get taxed every year. So it's damn near like an investment. You buy a house, you spend $100,000, $150,000 on the house, you don't get taxed on the house, which means every year, the minimum, the house stays the same value. If you make the neighborhood better, if you build up the houses in the area, your property goes up with no tax incentive. Here's why I'm mad. Where you black and Latino ball players at? Entertainers, ton of you Latino entertainers. What did they just bring out about Legozamo? They told him to stay out the sun, remember? And he said he's originally from where? Because he was hiding saying he was from Puerto Rico, but he's from Colombia. Where you brothers and sisters at coming together buying up property and land over there? You're supposed to buy 10 houses on that beach and tell all your Latino brothers they welcome to come on that beach anytime they want.
Right.
And let them play. I want to hear, listen, growing up in the Bronx was a very unique experience because them Latinos play them congas, them bongos. They play them congas out and you sound like you in, it was so deep because you sound like you in the jungle. And it was soothing. You be in there, you don't know where they at, but somewhere they doom, 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 doom. And you hear that joint in the distance, man, them congos sound good. You be like, yeah, man, that day coming, you having a drink or whatever the case, you know, man, I grew up in the Brooklyn down.
Right.
That's what it was. Them congos was the shit, straight up. And you would enjoy them congos, man, and play. Sometimes you come out, they got the whole steel band out there. The Benjamites join in, the Judites join in with the drums. Man, they be out there jamming up in there, lifting the spirit of the people. God. What the hell is wrong with that? God. Lifting the spirit of poor, suffering people is always honorable. Mm-hmm. You understand? And that's why you wealthy black and Latinos, you're supposed to be buying that up and setting up certain sections, man, for the Lord's chosen people to go up in there, man. I can't wait till the day we get to hear them bongo. That was so you go out to the park. Sometimes you just go out to the park, get your little drink, sit down, everybody kicking at you and your boys, and they out there on their corner. Doom, 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 doom. Doom, 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 doom. Rocking them congos, man, and soothing the whole goddamn neighborhood, man. Go ahead, Op.
And then the oppressor come buy up the area and then complain to the senators and make a law for noise pollution.
Exactly.
You know
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So that's what that TikTok video was. They was out there playing volleyball, and of course these bastards want them off the beach. So they come and sit right in the middle of the volleyball tournament. When we got to fight for our culture, man. God. And that's all 12 tribes culture. Because you bring them cultures together, and you're going to lift the spirit of the 12 tribes, and we'll get off of drugs. We'll stop killing one another. We'll open up businesses and save our money. We'll come together and help one another, like them damn Ukrainians doing for themselves. Like what you see happening in Ukraine, supposed to be happening. We bombed out like Ukraine. The Ukrainians bombed out, we bombed out. They helping each other. What the hell are we doing? And them Ukrainians ain't sending their women in there to fight. Some of them going in there to fight, but basically the women taking care of the children. Like we would have our culture and we would please the Lord, man. We would follow laws, statutes, and commandments. Instead, you don't let the slave master tell you that you got to fight to be LGBTQ and all that. So now that's your crusade. Now instead of checking the slave master on what he's doing to your people, now you want to fight your own people on not allowing you to be LGBT. Since when everybody got to love your dumb ass? Sure. Since when the whole goddamn hood got to accept your dumb ass? Since when that's been? Sodomites been, homosexuals and lesbians been around since man been on since the Sodom and Gomorrah 5,000 years ago.
Right.
You understand? Now all of a sudden everybody got to start loving you. You're going to have people that hate you. Just like you have people that hate all kinds of things. You understand? And if you don't stop, the Lord going to hate you and do you in. In the meantime, it ain't supposed to break our family.
Right.
It ain't supposed to break our brotherhood and sisterhood. I don't have to love you. I don't have to accept you. You a goddamn man. I got to accept you as a woman. No, I'm not accepting you. I'm going to love my Puerto Rican people. But if you gay, I'm not accepting you.
Right.
And so what? That's my right to do that. Okay? And a ton of you Latino brothers and sisters been molested, man. It was a ton of molestation going on in the Latino community, especially them young girls. Y'all turn out more lesbians than anybody in that Latino community because of child molestation, man. You don't let them child molesters run rapid in them Latino neighborhoods, man. And that's why we here to bring all that out, man, and talk about it. All right, we well over the time, man. So where we going? Last story? Let's let Yediah get his last story, and we going in. Y'all jump in anytime you get ready.
Yes, sir. Honorable Khan, sir. He was a big guy, Ohio white man arrested on charges of punching a black woman and dragging her by her hair in the streets.
That's who you dealing with now. You dealing with a white supremacist, man, that is blood-curdling thirsty, like the scripture said. Expect to get much more racism coming down on blacks and Latinos because, of course, he's going to feel like he got a little bit of time because white people are dying in Ukraine. White people dying in Ukraine says to him that his world might be crumbling, that he might be on the road to the Third World War, which means he got zero tolerance for you.
Right.
Put his hands on this sister. This is rarely heard of. Go ahead,
Honorable Khan, sir. An Ohio white man is accused of verbally assaulting a black woman with racial epithets in a Highland Square in Akron, Ohio, Sunday, February 27th. After a video of the incident went public, the Kent native was arrested and charged with carrying a gun during the altercation. Cameron Morgan, a 23-year-old African-American woman, reported being punched in the face by Andrew Walls, a 26-year-old white man. She claims that before he struck her, bruising her lip, he called her a racial slur. As a result of him hitting her, Morgan says that she has sustained a concussion. He was a big guy. Walls has been charged with being in possession of a firearm while intoxicated and assaulting Morgan on Sunday after she and her friends left a local nightclub.
Went off, beat the hell out of that sister. That's what they really want to do in many cases. I mean, and ain't nobody gonna cry for you like they didn't cry for the Mexican baby. Ain't nobody gonna cry for you at all. They're gonna cry for them Ukrainians. There you go, piece of garbage, drunk. You know what I mean? Looking for some black woman to rape.
God. Yeah, like he'll
look at him beating on her head. Go ahead. You got the video footage? Go big screen for us.
He's just bullies, man.
That's it.
As drunk as he could be. Look at that. Look at that there. Like, what an animal. That's why they put it on him.
If he had any doubt that he would lose, he would not dare.
They put it on him. And that's this beast. He get drunk and he'll beat your woman up. He don't get, look at, punched her in the face. Dead in the face. That's why somebody had to step in and clock his ass. Salakia. You know what I mean? Which just makes no goddamn sense. So look, join us April 13th, 14th, and 15th for the Lord's Passover. ISUPK.com is the website. Cocoa Beach, Florida. Y'all know how we get it in. Join me every Monday night. I do it up 9 p.m. Bring the heavy hitters in. Bring you all the latest stories, man. Support you in every way. Pay your tithes.
That's
ISUPK.com.
Oh, yeah.
Support this truth, man. Send them tithes and donations in. Send them all them funds that you know you should be sending in, man. Let us build a support organization for you for in your times of trouble, man, which is really going on right now. You understand? We're working hard, tooth and nail, and we need everybody's help. Stand up in it. Again, big shout out to all the brothers that got raised to officers of 5,000. Join Captain Tazar Yak April 2nd, doing a debate with Malik Shabazz, the ex-head of the new Black Panther Party. That's going to be a big in New York City, Alhambra Ballroom. Go to Tazar Yak's Facebook page and find out the information on that. Am I forgetting anything else?
That's everything.
With that, I'll see y'all next time live on the UPK, y'all. Shalom.
Shalom, Israel. It's that time again. The week of Passover is packed with exciting events hosted by the I.S.U.P.K. and Commanding General Yahanna. On Tuesday, a deep-sea fishing trip with the generals. Arrival and boarding time at 7:30 a.m. The boat leaves at 8 a.m. sharp.
Then on Wednesday, April 13th, join us for the annual lamb slaughter from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m., making sure the children of Israel have fresh lamb for the Passover.
Then, after that, the I.S.U.P.K. is having a fish fry from 4 p.m. until, which will lead to the scripture breakdown class with General GEN.YAHANNA. Then, on Thursday morning, Hebrew Academy participants will see if they have what it takes to endure the Hebrew Academy trials. Commanding General GEN.YAHANNA has something special lined up for the children with a children's party from 10:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Come join Commanding General GEN.YAHANNA on Cocoa Beach as we renew our oath unto the Lord.
Because he's supposed to understand the power of the Most High that would destroy him and will destroy him real soon. Read. That assuredly, knowing unto what oaths they had given credence, they might afterward be of good cheer. You hear that? They was of good cheer, came along with the Lord as one, and became of good cheer while tens of thousands of Egyptians died. I know y'all don't like to talk about this, but you better put this war spirit back in you, Israel. You better get that spirit back in you, man. You better get that spirit of warfare back in you, because the Lord gonna put blood on the streets of America and around this world, brother.
Followed by a hotel ballroom, all black and Hebrew Academy dinner from 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. And then on Friday, April 15th at 5 p.m., join us for the Lord's annual Passover as commanded in the scriptures at 5 p.m. sharp. On Saturday, April 16th, the Feast of Unleavened Bread. That's right, we're going to keep the Feast of Unleavened Bread from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Commanding General GEN.YAHANNA has it all lined up for you, Israel. Come keep the Lord's Passover. Shalom.
I.S.U.P.K. 53rd Annual Lord Passover.
53rd Annual Lord's Passover is going to be held down here in Florida.
It's going down.
You're here tonight to get a chance to be righteous enough
to be worthy of God coming to save you and your
That's right.
It's going down. The Lord's 53rd annual Passover.
When we say we no cowards, we stop that business. We no cowards up in here.
Book your hotels now at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites, the IHG Hotel, 301 Tucker Lane, Cocoa Beach, Florida, 32926.
Here's a lot of men down. You dealing with the men of war. We at war. I sided with the Lord.
Y'all see this?
Counter for all your dishes, pots, and sports knives.
I kind of like this. This is like an apartment and a hotel. You know what I mean?
This here right here is about to be holy ground. It's going to be holy ground. All our beautiful, wonderful brothers and sisters from all over the world. You understand? We can boast that now. Brothers and sisters coming not only from every state, but from all over the world. I heard the numbers this year is ridiculous. We had to buy out the whole hotel.
Friday, April 15th at the Space Coast Convention Center.
My camp undefeated. You cannot debate it. You just want the clout. We just want the greatest. I'm just trying to get it.
This is going to be glorious.
We don't give a fuck. You can see it in our faces. Got it out the mud. Straight up out the